It was just another routine day in court. The judge, known for his firm but fair nature, took his seat at the front of the room. Lawyers filed in, the jury took their seats, and the defendant nervously glanced at his lawyer. But as the door swung open for the final round of testimonies, a low growl echoed from the back of the room. A police canine had just lunged at the judge. The courtroom went silent. People froze, unsure of what had just happened, but what followed would leave everyone questioning whether the dog had just sensed something or had it been a warning from the past. The courtroom was no stranger to high-stakes cases, but today was different. The air was thick with anticipation. The defendant was facing serious charges, and emotions were running high. The judge, a seasoned veteran with a reputation for being stern but just, was already feeling the pressure, but nothing in his career could have prepared him for what happened when the canine unit entered the room. The dog, a large German shepherd named Rex, was an experienced officer used to guarding crime scenes, tracking suspects, and providing security in tense situations. His handler, Officer Daniels, had worked with him for years. Rex had always been a well-behaved dog, trained to stay calm even in chaotic environments. Yet, as the canine unit entered the courtroom, Rex's behavior shifted. The judge glanced over at the dog and its handler, noting Rex's calm demeanor as the canine walked alongside Officer Daniels to the designated area in the back of the courtroom. Everything seemed normal until the judge looked down to read some documents. That's when it happened. A sharp, menacing growl broke the silence. The sound was so unexpected that it sent a ripple through the room. People shifted uncomfortably in their seats, looking around in confusion. All eyes turned toward the judge, whose normally unflappable face had begun to show signs of discomfort. Rex was staring directly at him. "Order in the court," the judge barked, trying to regain control. But Rex wouldn't let up. The growl grew louder and more intense, and Officer Daniels struggled to regain control of his partner. "What's wrong with him?" the judge asked, his voice rising, unsure whether to trust the canine's instincts or dismiss it as a momentary disruption. Officer Daniels tried to calm Rex with a stern command, but the canine's focus remained locked on the judge, growling even more menacingly. A palpable tension spread through the courtroom. Seconds stretched into what felt like hours as everyone held their breath. The judge, clearly unnerved, attempted to call the court to order once again, but just as he was about to do so, a sudden realization swept over him. There was something familiar about the way Rex reacted, something from his past, something he had long forgotten surfaced in his mind like a ghost. Then it hit him. The judge wasn't just anyone. He was part of a controversial case that had taken place many years ago, one that had shocked the entire city. He had sentenced a notorious criminal to life imprisonment, a criminal who had connections to a powerful underground network. The criminal's family, known for their ruthless methods, had vowed to get even with anyone who dared to cross them. The judge had forgotten over the years how dangerous that network could be, but Rex hadn't. Rex had been trained to recognize threats even when they weren't visible. His growl wasn't one of aggression, it was one of warning. The judge, who had long since dismissed the idea that his past might catch up to him, now felt the weight of his earlier decisions. Officer Daniels quickly moved toward the judge, urging him to step away from the bench. The dog's growls intensified, and the tension in the room reached its peak. The judge's face turned pale as he realized the seriousness of the situation. He hadn't just been a victim of a random outburst. Rex had sensed a danger he hadn't noticed. As the situation unfolded, the canine continued to alert. Moments later, police officers arrived, having been called to investigate the threat Rex had sensed. They searched the courtroom, including the judge's chambers, and found something shocking: an abandoned briefcase filled with illegal documents and a hidden tracker. It seemed someone had planned to harm the judge, using the chaos of the courtroom to their advantage. In the end, Rex's instincts had saved the day. The dog had recognized a threat before anyone else did. The judge, though shaken, was safe, and the case surrounding the underground network was reignited. For the first time, the judge understood the true value of loyalty and instinct, especially when they came from the most unlikely protector. Rex, the police dog, had not only saved the judge's life that day, he had reminded everyone in that courtroom that loyalty and protection can come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes it takes a growl to reveal the truth.